Now, I don't know what other people think of this, but I think that it would add a little bit more PvE differentiation into Destiny 2. So like, maybe people are getting sick of raids, so they want a little bit more spice for life, not something that's always the same, like a little bit of RNG in what they're playing. Kind of like adding on to the MMO atmosphere that the MMO players came to this game to have, instead of just being PvP focused, because that's what game has been. I'm more of a PvP person, but I feel bad for us who aren't. Anyways, this would be called something along the lines of exploration. Now, at the top right where it shows Crucible and Vanguard, there will be another panel called Exploration, and it shows like a telescope, so it's something like a compass. You click on it, and it'll show the different planets of Destiny 2 or Destiny 3, or whatever it is going to be. They'll say, alright, I choose to go on Earth. And it would...
Who are you talking to?
I'm making a video about my idea that I decided because it's a great idea. And if Bungie sees this, then bravo, Bungie. But
if Bungie makes it into the game, I will say.
If Bungie makes this into the game, I will be a happy person. It takes 10 minutes out of my life for a tiny chance that Bungie will actually see this and put this in their game. But it takes you to the planet that you choose, and it's randomly generated worlds. Now, these worlds aren't like patrols where you always know exactly where everything is. There's always boring loot. These would be somewhat randomly generated like No Man's Sky, but they will be smaller, so it won't be as boring to explore. You won't have to feel like a chore going around and finding things. You would actually like going around, finding things, and then going to the edge of the border where the world ends and going like, okay, now I can leave and go try another place. The reason that this would be cool is, first of all, it would have the materials on it that you would see for that planet. Second, it would have chests that you've like never seen before. Like, since you know where the patrol chests are, hey, maybe you're gonna find a chest that is gonna do the same thing as a patrol chest, but it's a place you didn't know before. But the best part about this is, instead of public events and random encounters, this would be like searching. Let's say on the moon, you find a giant hole in the ground. It looks like the Hellmouth. And so you jump in, and when you jump in, there's a small loading screen, and you go into a giant pit with an ogre boss in it that you've never seen before. It's kind of like a strike boss, except it's gonna be very difficult, crazy high health, a lot of damage, and there's gonna be lots of ads in them, like a very hard strike boss. And it would have a maximum of like six people, like a raid. You can bring in friends, like, hey, I found this dungeon and a random event, the Discover area. Jump in there. And the thing is, whatever like type of enemy it is, let's say it's an ogre, for example, when you kill it, you're gonna get like a weapon that's in like a set pool table, a random one that's somewhat like hive themed. So like, let's say there's 5 different hive weapons, and since you kill the ogre, you get one of those and your teammate gets the other. But let's spice up a little, add a little more RNG. What if they made it so that mostly when you open up the chest at the end of killing the boss, you just got rare things and sometimes legendaries, but it didn't matter what the loot pool's from, you just randomly get those legendaries. Like, you can get a raid gun or an Iron Banner gun, as if it was left down there, but there would be like a 10% chance that those weapons that you were looking for would spawn, and that would really add a lot of competitiveness to the PvE world. Like, I see all these people complaining about raids and stuff and strikes. They're too easy. Man, there's not enough variety. Well, what if it's like an MMO and it adds that variety too? Ah! I scatter grenade myself. Excuse me. Just something to think about. I thought it was a cool idea. Maybe you think it's a cool idea too. Maybe Deej, who's watching this right now, if you are watching this, sitting at home eating potato chips, working on Destiny 8, consider this for Destiny 8, and put it in good hands. Don't put it in Activision's hands. They don't know what they're doing.